So let's go from our current location to our roots not far from here. German farmers settled in this area during the 1870s and 80s, near the San Joaquin River at Durham's Ferry. A road marker depicts the area where it all began. Unfortunately, somebody removed the bronze plaque. It read, San Joaquin City. This river town was established in 1849. Pioneers and freight wagons crossed the river nearby at Durham's Ferry, following post roads to the southern mines. As a terminal for riverboats, the town played an important part in development of West Side grain farming and cattle raising. The San Francisco Lutheran minister, the Reverend Jacob Buehler, would travel to this area and minister to these German families. It's hard to imagine that these farmers would take their children to Reverend Buehler's church in San Francisco for catechism classes. They knew it was important, quite a commitment. There were other missionary pastors in our area. Circuit preacher Hernick, on horseback, and also a minister from Stockton, Reverend Wagner. One pastor visited the area and stopped at the Dreyer's Saloon and Hotel located at Durham Ferry and Casson Roads to quench his thirst. And German farmers were there and asked for a church of their own. And so it began. Different pastors visited over the years, and they provided worship services in many different locations in the area. Some services were in homes, another on the second floor of the Vernalis store, and in the New Jerusalem School. After nearly a decade, the First Presbyterian Church extended an invitation for their German friends to freely use their new church. It was located where Tracy's main downtown fire station is today. While using the Presbyterian Church, the Reverend Otto Kitzman became the first resident pastor for Tracy and Newman families. Newman is 40 miles south of Tracy. After months of ministering, he proposed a constitution, and it was adopted on January 31st, 1892. St. Paul's Lutheran Church became real at that moment 125 years ago. This new congregation continued to worship in the First Presbyterian Church building for another 19 years. During that time, different pastors attended to our needs as others moved on. Two called pastors were August Hansen and William Schreiber, each serving about 3 years. The city of Tracy incorporated in 1910 during this period. St. Paul's had no called pastor for 9 years. Eventually, during World War I, Reverend Albert Wesling accepted a call to St. Paul's. As the war continued, Pastor Wesling urged his largely German community to raise funds to build their own house of worship. They also adopted English rather than German for their written and spoken communications. This new building was located on the southwest corner of 10th and F Streets. Here is the location today. And then when our church was first there. Pastor Wesling moved on and was replaced by Reverend Herman Sayer, who served for about 13 years. He was followed by Walter Kramer, serving 4 years. Reverend Ralph Bush arrived during World War II and led our flock more than 11 years. More importantly, he started our school as the war ended. Our first teacher was Rosa Bush, the pastor's wife. In 1950, Mr. Melvin Kieschnick became the school's principal. In 1954, Reverend Conrad Coiner became our pastor and served us for 15 years. He was a visionary and saw the need for expansion and more property. He encouraged a fundraiser and eventually achieved donations totaling $80,000. They purchased our current land, which was an open field. Then the move began. The church was physically moved to its current location. The steeple had to be removed, and someone rode atop it to ensure wires and infrastructure were avoided. It was a big move over a considerable distance. But here is a photo once in place, and shrubbery was growing around it. Not long after the move, we acquired a loan with our district's church extension fund and started construction on a new, larger house of worship. The church we are in today was finished and dedicated on July 24th, 1966. That was 50 years ago. Walter Warman became our pastor in 1968, serving 8 years. He was followed by Pastor David Atrops. When he departed St. Paul's in 1980, our church sponsored a vicar, Michael Birnbaum. Following his vicarship, he became our senior pastor. Pastor Birnbaum saw a need and helped secure funding for a multi-ministry building that included a gymnasium. This building was used to start our preschool in 1987, headed by Mrs. Shirley Menk. Pastor Birnbaum accepted a call to Texas in 1991, and in 1992, Reverend Ed Kruger became our senior pastor. Here's a short clip of him telling the story of our stained glass window.
I'm up here, up in the balcony. Hello, everybody. Well, do you know that we here at St. Paul's have our own stained glass window? I imagine some of you have not paid much attention to it, but I'm up here in the balcony because I'm up here by the stained glass window, and I just would like to briefly show you the stained glass window we have this morning for a moment.
Our stained glass window has a complete scriptural story of St. Paul contained in it. Please take a look at it sometime. Pastor Jeff Dorth became our next pastor in 1996, who also had a vision for our church. That vision was to bring back our school. We needed to build, and indeed we did. We have a dedicated preschool area, and then the elementary school, with an administrative area sandwiched in the center. Of course, there's a school song. Following more than a 2-year vacancy, Pastor Calvin Watzig accepted our call to be our spiritual shepherd and remains so to this day. In all, our 15 senior pastors averaged about 7 years each over these past 125 years. The flock and local shepherds will change, but the one on high remains our true shepherd.
I belong to. Show me how.